Hi there, my name is Danielle, and on this channel, I try to make sense of our bodies and offer with you some practices that I have used over my last 18 years of working hands-on with bodies through professional massage therapy and also teaching yoga. And I have used these exact practices when I blew out my knee 3 years ago and couldn't walk. I healed it completely on my own at home with no medical intervention, and so I truly believe that you can be an expert of your own body, and I want to help you get there. So today I'm answering a viewer's question on being able to fall asleep easily, but then not actually having deep sleep. And so I want us to separate just falling asleep and then restorative sleep, because in between those two things are sort of a downshift in our nervous system and brainwave activity. So in order to enter NREM sleep, is what they call it, we have to enter a slower breathing, heart rate, and then brain pattern. And usually when we can fall asleep even still being in a heightened state. And usually if you're falling asleep super easily but not having deep sleep, it's probably because your body is super thirsty for sleep. I'm going to explain our nervous system in a nutshell in this video, but what I really want you to do is feel this for yourself. And so make sure to stay to the end of this video where I will share a full breathing practice that I love and still use to this day. And so you can do that with me at home. But right now, I want you to experiment with what I'm talking about. So just close your eyes wherever you are, whether you're sitting or standing, and then just place your hands on your sternum. Take a nice deep breath in and exhale. And I want you to leave your air out. So keep exhaling, don't breathe in. And I want you just to see if you can feel your heartbeat. I want you to notice the cadence of your heartbeat, whether it's fast, whether it's slow. And go ahead and inhale. And exhale. And that same thing again, I want you to feel your heartbeat, whether it's fast or slow. Whether you can notice if it's gurgly or really, really quick, like pop, 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 pop. And inhale. Exhale. And just returning to your natural breath, opening your eyes, releasing your arms. And so noticing your heart rate, I'm guessing that you are resting. Maybe you're listening to this while you're doing dishes or something, but we're going to call that your resting heart rate. Yeah? So for some of us, that's depending on either what we've done today, how much caffeine we've drank. So lifestyle is definitely a factor in this. Our daily habits and daily practices matter so much, along with the things that have happened in the past, right? So we're all coming to this moment based on a different set of circumstances. So things like caffeine, we have to be aware of. When we ingest caffeine, it actually has a half-life in our body. So even though we had a cup of coffee yesterday, some bodies don't metabolize caffeine as quickly. Some people aren't affected at all, so this is on a case-by-case basis. But one thing to consider is even if you had caffeine 3 days ago, you might still be feeling the stimulant effect in your body, and that affects your heart rate. And one of my favorite metaphors, this is literally something that I'm fishing for in my body each time I do a restorative practice. And if you've ever driven a manual transmission and you downshift, you understand the feeling of downshifting or engine braking. I literally feel that inside of my body. There is literally like a downshift that happens. And if you're not familiar with a manual transmission, just picture going down a hill and imagine going down a hill without any brakes. You are like, okay, great, I'm relaxed, I'm going downhill, I don't have to worry about anything. But the momentum of going downhill is highly arousing, right? Because your wheels are spinning faster and then you have no control over where you end up. And so imagine that you have some brakes and you can pump your brakes slightly so that you can gracefully go down the hill and be able to control what happens at the bottom of that hill. So same kind of metaphor, but we literally can sort of fish for that feeling in our body. You will feel, or you can train yourself to feel that downshift. So all of these things to be considered, that's a really quick way just to get in touch with your resting heart rate. And from there, I'm going to explain to you why that matters and a little bit about our nervous system.
Okay, so here's a simple drawing of our nervous system. Our central nervous system is our brain and our spinal cord. Think of them like the master control tower, and it branches off a couple of times from there. But what I want to focus on mostly is the parasympathetic nervous system, which is strongly associated with deep REM sleep. So our nerves and our veins, shown in blue right there, are all information networks, and layered on top of that are our muscles. And one of the most important muscles in our body, which I'm going to excavate here, is our diaphragm. And why does our diaphragm matter so much? Because our diaphragm is what helps us breathe. And in order to influence a parasympathetic state or a rest and digest response, we need to tell our body, okay, it's time to relax. And your breath is one of those unusual places where you can consciously change something that is also controlled automatically. So here we have our diaphragm, and it's right there underneath our ribs, and so it communicates with our lungs, our heart, and also all of these information networks. So by deliberately slowing your breathing, you can influence your nervous system and your body's responses.
And so while our autonomic nervous system isn't exactly something we can control, we can influence it by conditions that we impose on it. And one of the best ways is obviously our breathing. And so through breathing, we will be able to transition through a highly aroused state into that restorative mindset of sleep, shifting from a sympathetic state to a parasympathetic state. So I want you to look for that while you do this breathing practice. And if you stick with it or do any of my other restorative practices, I want you to see if you can feel that. If you can feel that, comment down below. I love to know that my crazy metaphors make sense to people and help them out. So let's get started. I want you to have something that you can do tonight to help you transition into a nice restorative sleep.
So making sure we are in a space that we can relax. I like to place a bolster or a pillow underneath my knees. And then we're going to come to lying down. If you are doing this seated, I recommend having a wall behind you so that you can relax as much as possible. So just beginning with your natural breathing, I want you to take a nice deep inhale and exhale. And now we're going to inhale for a count of 4 in through the nose. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to hold that at the top for a count of 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale through your mouth with a nice sound for a count of 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Holding at the top for a count of 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, through the mouth for a count of 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, count of 4. Inhale through the nose for a count of 1, 2, 3, 4. Holding at the top for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, ha, through the mouth. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale through the nose for 1, 2, 3, 4. Holding at the top for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale through the mouth, ha, for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale through the nose. 1, 2, 3, 4. Holding at the top for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale through the mouth for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Next time on your own, inhaling through the nose. Holding at the top. Exhale through the mouth, ha. Inhale through the nose. Holding at the top. Exhale, ha, like you're blowing fog on a mirror. And gently returning to your natural breath. Allowing yourself to drift off to sleep.